So far, your top 5 as the green flag's looking to come back out with 21 laps to go. Bubba Smith, Ryan Tedesco, your top 2. Green flag comes out and a quick yellow for a failed start. Your top 2, 21 laps to go. Gonna look for the green flag through 3 and 4. Green flag is out. We are underway. Bubba Smith, he's gonna rock it out to the race lead as Tedesco sits there in the number 2 spot. Stankiewicz rounding back after an incident on lap number 6. He's moved up to the 3rd spot. Stankiewicz a little loose there on off of turn number 2. Stankiewicz still continuing to get loose as right now a whole bunch of sparks underneath the 45 of Matt Gribble as it looks like the right front tire. Something on the right front suspension has gone, possibly the tire also. Nope, looks more like a suspension problem on the 45. As right now it's going to be 33 laps in, 17 laps to go as Tedesco starting to put more pressure on the number 12 with Bubba Smith. Good battle up front for the race lead. Good battle for the 4th spot between Snyder and Smith as Tedesco all over the back bumper of Bubba Smith. Good battle for the race lead so far between Smith and Tedesco. As Brian Smith going around the outside of 17 of Snyder and now probably going to put the outside on Stankiewicz. Stankiewicz to the inside. Here comes Smith to the outside. Here comes Tedesco trying to look to the inside of Bubba Smith down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Good race battle for the race lead as Tedesco all over the back bumper of the 12 of Smith. Here comes Tedesco almost up to the wheel. Not clear enough. Smith can almost leave him the whole inside, doesn't, cuts him off. It's going to be 10 laps to go for Bubba Smith and Ryan Tedesco up front. Brian Smith, he's taking over the 3rd spot as Snyder falling back. Almost making contact with the 42 and the 3 as Tedesco again going to try to put pressure on Bubba Smith. As the 42 of Stankiewicz look to be getting a little loose, pushes up there, opens up the inside for the 17 of Snyder. Snyder not quite in there, but Stankiewicz going to close the door, continue the 4th spot as Tedesco and Smith up front. Still battling for the race lead. 6 laps to go for Smith and Tedesco. Through 3 and 4. It's going to be 5 laps still for Bubba Smith. Ryan Tedesco. Brian Smith, and he's going to take over the 3rd spot. Then you have Stankiewicz and Snyder and Martin rounding out your field. Close battle for the race lead between Smith and Tedesco. Through 3 and 4, it's going to be the white flag. 1 lap to go for Bubba Smith and Ryan Tedesco. Through 3 and 4, off of 4 to the double check. And flag here, winner the number 12 of Bubba Smith. Second to Ryan Tedesco. Third to Brian Smith. Battle for the 4th spot between Stankiewicz and Snyder. Finishing 4th is the 42, Tom Stankiewicz. 5th, the 17 of Bob Snyder. Rounding out your top 6, the 3 of Dave Martin. Four different winners and 4 different nights. Tedesco, one opening night, second week to Brian Smith, third week went to Alex Rosenberry. Different winner in Victory Lane on week number 4. It's going to go to the number 12 of Bubba Smith. Congratulations, Bubba. 2 weeks ago, you went up to Sandusky. You finished 3rd up there. Probably only had like a top 4 car, but you also had some good cars in front of you. Break, came home 3rd, didn't go a lap down, led a couple of the races. Tonight was pretty much a kind of sort of like a main event race. Not as many laps, just a little less. Same car count, though. So tonight, the start of it, lap 6, the 45 of Gribble got a little loose. You checked up. Stankiewicz got into the back quarter panel here of you. You went for a spin. Then after that, you just kind of sort of just bided your time and took it easy.
Yeah, the beginning of the race is always a little hairy. The 45 was got a little loose there. I tried to back out. We were trying to get around those guys as fast as you can and got a little bump and spun. But it's been pretty fun racing this year. We've had some really good cars here with Tedesco, Stankiewicz, Rosenberry here. This is the 4th week, 4 different winners. I think it's a pretty competitive field we got out here.
Who all would you like to thank on this number 12 that got you into Victory Lane tonight?
I got to thank Tommy. He threw a big old change at this rate before the heat race. We've been chasing this thing all year, trying to get it where we wanted. It's still not there, but it was better. My dad, my brother, Mike's not here tonight. He's with his wife at the hospital, so I'm going to be calling him as soon as I get back in the pits.
You and Tedesco put on a really good show. Should continue throughout the whole rest of the year.
Yeah, I love when them guys come. It's really fun racing against them guys. I know Ryan was a little faster than me. I seen him stick his nose in a few times, but didn't quite get in there far enough, and so I was just trying my best to hold him off. I was waiting for Terry to throw that white flag. It seemed like it took forever.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Give a hand to your winner, the 12 of Bubba Smith. Hartline and Collins bringing it in for the green 20 lap JD Byrider Street Stock feature. As the 75 of Bob Passwater Sr. holding on to the race lead, hanging on to that bottom, pushing up just a little bit with the 74 to the outside. As here it comes, Hoopengardner in the number 1. Gary Hoopengardner in the number 1, looking to the inside off for turn number 2. Battle for second on lap number 1/2 is going to be between that number 74 and the 1. Hoopengarner. He's going to clear him down the back straightaway. He's going to take over the second spot. Move Hoopengarner up to second. Waters Jr. sitting there in the third spot. Here comes Smith. Smith now going to look to the outside of Waters Jr. Good battle for that number 3, now fourth position. Almost a 3 wide into turn number 1 as Smith still stuck to the outside lane. Good battle for that number 3 spot, 4th spot with Pringle and Smith as Pringle looks to have some sparks coming out from the left side of that car and the right side of it as Hoopengarner falling back in the outside lane. Ritchie trying to use the outside lane to close in on the number 7 of Pringle. Doing so, but early right there behind him also. Here comes Ritchie to the outside of the number 7 of Pringle for the number 5 position. Battle for 5th as Smith getting a little loose to the inside. Lane Hoopengarner still trying to battle to the outside. Hoopengarner trying to battle to the outside. Hoopengarner going to fall back just a little bit, losing a little bit of speed there through 1 and 2. As Ritchie's still stuck to the outside lane. Single file up front. Passwater Sr. holding the race lead with Junior in the second spot. Smith in third, Pringle in fourth, and Hoopengarner running out to your top 5 with Early and Ritchie battling there for the 5th and 6th position. That's the halfway, 10 laps in, 10 laps to go for Bob Passwater Sr. Contact in turn number 1 between the 31 and the 7. 9 laps to go for Bob Passwater Sr., Bob Passwater Jr. As contact into turn number 1 between the 31 and number 44 of Smith. And the number 1 of Hoopengarner. So far, 11 in, 9 laps to go as Passwaters Junior and Senior are going to look for the green flag. Green flag is out. We're underway, 9 laps to go. As Passwaters Junior going to prevail to the outside, going to almost possibly clear Dad into turn number 3, does so. As Junior slides up a lot off for turn number 4, opening up the inside again for Senior. Senior again going to look to the inside in turn number 2. Doesn't. Junior going to prevail down the back straightaway. Here comes the number 7 of Gabe Pringle. He's going to look to the outside for the number 3 position. Pringle on the move. As Ritchie battling, trying to battle there to the inside still. As Passwaters Jr., Passwaters Sr. still holding up the 1-2 spot. 5 laps to go for Passwaters Jr. and Sr. As right now, the battle there for the 3rd spot between Ritchie and Pringle being a good battle there for the top 2 duo. 17 laps in, 3 laps to go. For the 74 of Bob Passwater Jr. Hasn't picked up a feature win since winning opening night last year. 2 years ago, to be exact. Here comes Pringle. Pringle now going to battle to the outside. 18 and 2 laps to go. Does Pringle have enough to battle to the outside? White flag, 1 lap to go for Bob Passwater Jr. and Gabe Pringle battling down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Who's going to win? Who's going to prevail through 3 and 4? Passwater Jr. to the inside, Pringle to the outside to the double checker flag. Your winner, the 7 of Gabe Pringle. 2nd to Bob Passwater Jr. 3rd to Bob Passwater Sr. 4th to Colton Ritchie. 5th to Jeremiah Hartline. 6th to Tom Early. 7th to TJ Barker. And 8th to Gary Hoopengartner. Another class with 4 different winners in 4 different weeks. Opening night went to the 31 of Tom Early. 2nd week went to Colton Ritchie. 3rd went to the 77, Josh Moss. Now pulling into victory lane for a 4th different winner of 2017. It's the 7 of Gabe Pringle. The number 7 of Gabe Pringle. It all started at about 7:30 this morning when he tried to give me a good morning wake-up call, and I didn't answer. Because you did it to me 2 weeks ago, I answered. But tonight, I think that's good luck. I think you should start calling me more often. Tonight, car was hooked up, got caught up in some trouble there about the halfway point. Went pit side, I believe, checked some stuff, came back out. Then he just had the car moving on the outside. Last year, you didn't really have the best car on the outside. This year, it seems like you have more of an outside car and an inside car combined.
I just got to thank these guys here, Ed and Jake, who work on this car every single week. A lot of hours in it. Tonight, I was bad, so I had to work my way back to the front. I didn't think I was going to win it, but I got there.
It was right at the last lap. You didn't lead any lap except the last one, which is the important one. Who all would you like to thank on this number 7? And it's also, you're the 4th different winner in 2017 so far.
Of course, again, I got to thank Ed and Jake, who worked on this car all winter long to get this thing together. It's a brand new chassis. All my sponsors, WTUZ, Ridgeway, Parkway, Creative Floats, and Pat, and my family, my wife, our siblings. So,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Give a hand to your winner, number 7 of Gabe Pringle. Slime Motor Mini Truck Division. That's going to be Fishburne and Barnes. Going to look for the green flag. Green flag is out. We are underway. Fishburne slides up the track, opens up the inside for Gerber down the back straightaway. Here comes Avio. Avio going to get into the back bumper of Gerber just a little bit. Barnes getting into the back bumper of the 118 of Avio also. Good race battle up front. Good battle back in the pack. Oh, and engine explosion by the number 14 of Chad Smith. 2 weeks ago. Green flag is out with 11 laps to go. Going into turn number 1. 118 tries to close the door. Barney Gerber right there. Gets into the back bumper of him again. 118 of Bill Avio clears him. Going down the back straightaway. As Barnes, he's going to move up into the number 2 position. halfway that time by 6 laps in, 6 laps to go for Bill Obule, Bernie Gerber, Michael Barnes, and Andrew Fishburne. Your remaining 4 here in the 12-lap feature for the Finish Line Motor Mini Trucks. Laps in, 2 laps to go for Bill Obule in the 118. White flag, 1 lap to go for Bill Obule. As Barney Gerber sitting in the 2nd spot is still Barnes. Right there behind Gerber. Through 3 and 4 off of turn number 4 to the double checker flag. Your winner, the 118 of Bill Obule. Finishing in the 2nd spot, the number 2T, Barney Gerber. 3rd, the 95 of Michael Barnes. And finishing 4th, the 87 of Andrew Fishburne. RV Parts Express tonight filling in for Colt Locker. Last week filled in for Barney Gerber. Now he's unbuckling, getting ready to climb out. Give a hand to your winner, the 118 of Bill Obule. Well, congratulations, Bill. Last week you filled in for someone. This week you're filling in for someone. One question to ask: which one's better, street stock, mini truck?
Yeah, these things are fast and they handle unbelievable. This truck drives itself.
So, are you going to build one?
Probably not.
Worth a try. Guys put on a good show for what there was. I kind of sort of must have jinxed Rich Schweitzer at the beginning of the night by saying that he was going to continue his 8 for 8. Well, now he's going to go 6 for 8. And it's going to come to an end with you guys. But pretty good show. Who all would you like to thank on the 118 tonight?
I'd like to thank Kevin and Jack, everybody involved with the truck, for giving me the chance to drive it.
Is that all?
And Gabe Pringle for giving us a right front rotor that we broke the wheel bearing hot lapping, and we wouldn't have made the night without it.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
Give a hand to your winner, the 118 of Bill Obule. As we're going to get ready to go, it's going to be the 64, Trevor Kuhl, and the 0 of Alan Clark. 54, Kyle Larson. 55, Tyler Nye. 47, Eric Kugler. 30, Corey Heron. 4E. Tyler Eichel. 41, Toby Cook. 44, Andrew Bishop. 79, Eric Brokaw. And the 95 of Lisa Moore. Green flag is out, 15 laps. Second feature is underway. Going to give it another try between the 64 of Trevor Kuhl and the 0 of Alan Clark. Going to look for the second feature and final feature before the skid plate. Green flag is out. We are underway. Good battle up front between the 64 and the 0s. The 64 going to clear into turn number 1. on lap 1. As the 0 still battling there, also the 54. Then we got the 30 of Heron. Heron's going to give a little bump to the 0 of Clark. Clark's going to go off the track. Heron's going to go and rub a little bit of paint with the 54 of Kyle Lawson. As Clark all the way up to the outside. 3 wide into turn number 3. As Heron now going to be stuck to the outside lane as the 54 of Lawson still there also. 64 of Cole battling, trying to hold that bottom line. As right now looks to be a caution in turn 3 and 4 as the 41 of Cook. That's it, 13 laps to go for Cole and Heron and Clark. Green flag is out. We are underway. Clark's going to get the advantage from behind from the 54 of Lawson. As here goes battle down the back straightaway for the top spot between Cole and Clark. Battle behind them between Heron and Lawson. As Clark's going to clear the race leader of Cole going into turn number 1. Clark to the race lead. Cole Lawson still battling for the number 2 spot. Here comes Heron sitting in the 4th spot. So right now, Clark is your race leader, head of Lawson. Then you have Cole, Heron, and Kugler rounding out your top 5. Here comes the battle for the 4th spot. Here comes Kugler to the inside of Heron for the number 4 position. Battle side by side for the number 4 spot. Kugler almost going up the track, but Heron hanging there to the outside. Gave him enough room. So far, 6 laps in. Heron prevailing to the outside. Clark, Lawson, Cole, Heron, Kugler, your top 5 still remaining. They're about ready to hit the halfway point. Through 3 and 4, it's going to be halfway. 8 laps in, 7 laps to go for Alan Clark. Kyle Lawson, Trevor Cole, Corey Heron, and Eric Kugler. So far, your top 5. Kugler driving it in just a little deep there in that 5th spot, trying to get to the inside. Almost spun. Oh, and a spin in turn number 3 and 4 by the 79 of Aaron. So far here, the final feature. 6 laps to go before we move into the skid plate race. Green flag is out. 6 laps to go for Clark and Lawson. Clark trying to use the advantage to the inside, Lawson to the outside. Here comes Heron. Heron, he's going to try to dive back to the inside, try to cut off the number 64 of Cole, and does so. Here comes Heron. The top 2 right now, Clark and Heron, both picked up their first career feature wins within the last 2 weeks. As the 4E of Eichel Lawson. Green flag is out. 5 laps to go. Clark going to use the advantage off of turn number 2. Try to clear the number 54 down the back straightaway. Cole with a little bit of power down the back straightaway as Kugler and Cole make contact in turn number 3, and they keep going. As right now, caution is out Lawson, green flag is out, 4 laps to go for the top 2. Lawson gets a good start going into turn number 1. Clark going to make contact with Lawson. Here comes Heron. Heron's going to look to the inside as the 47 Kugler. He's going to go backtrack in the outside lane. Heron going to look to the inside as Lawson Clark make contact into turn number 3 and 4. Clark now to the outside. Heron now to the inside. Battle down the back straightaway between the number 30 of Heron and the 0 of Clark. Clears him coming off of turn number 2. It's the white flag. 1 lap to go for the 30 of Corey Heron. As Clark all over the back bumper of Heron there through turns 1 and 2, down the back straightaway, into turn number 3 and 4, off of 4, picking up his second career feature win, the number 30 of Corey Heron, finishing second, Alan Clark, third, Tyler Knight, fourth, Lisa Moore, fifth, the Kyle Lawson, sixth, Eric Kugler, seventh, to Trevor Cool, eighth, Eric Bishop, and ninth to Eric Brokaw. First career ever compact feature win just a couple weeks ago. They said after that, always comes easy. This one didn't come that easy. I will be honest with you, that one did not come easy. You made a good move to the inside. Lawson in the 54 and Clark made a little contact in 3 and 4. You just were right there. You made it to the inside. They all went up basically about the second, third groove. And then you just stuck right there. Clark battled with you. And then on the white flag lap, you finally cleared him. Then you pulled away with the victory.
Yeah, that was definitely the hardest race ever raced. So I think we all 3 come out pushing pretty hard. But I'm glad. That was fun. That was a blast.
Who all would you like to thank? Tonight was Budweiser night. You get to go home with a Budweiser trophy.
Absolutely, that's great. First of all, it's my dad's birthday tomorrow, so this one's for him. Skyline, wallet scrap metal. My grandma's battling brain disease, so that's on the car for her. Penzo's Pizza, Marathon, Byler's Dutch Cupboard, and my wife. She's not here tonight, but everyone here.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Give a hand to your winner, the number 30 of Corey Heron. Ready, set, go. Please, everybody, make sure you back away from the fence. Nobody near the fence. Please, again, back away from the fence. So far, leading the race is the number 9, the orange minivan. We're going to split the middle into turn number 3. That's the orange minivan. That's your current leader, Jimbo Rue. Then you got second spot was the number 12. Bryant Smith, the second spot. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out to Midvale Speedway for night number 4 of Thunder in the Valley 2017. Picking up the skid plate feature was the number 15 of Kyle Finlayson. So I hope everybody enjoyed tonight's exciting racing action. Be sure to check us out online at midvalespeedway.com, Midvale Speedway on Facebook. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day weekend. And I hope everybody buckles up and drives home safe. And we hope to see everybody next Saturday, June 3rd, for the Super Cup Stock Car Series Twin 50s with all 5 of our normal weekly divisions all on hand. So again, special thanks to all of our officials here and our sponsor, Budweiser. I truly hope you enjoyed tonight's racing action, and we will see you in 1 week.
This was Valley Means Walnut Creek. Please give us recipe sponsor number 701, Ryan Tedesco. We're going to look good. We They're going to look for the green flag. Almost a contact zone. Close up almost making the same point. Gonna try to get Phil to start the last time for the Summer Racing Economy Modified Heat Race number 1 for Williston and Harding. Gonna look for the green flag. And running up the field, the number 2 for New Philadelphia, Ohio, is the Industrial Truck, David Cohen, the Martin with the Park Service of Lake Prairie. Garner receives fifth early. As repeat, side on the outside here. Outside, no going into turn number one, South Ohio and State Farm Insurance, TMC, Heating and Cooling Country Mart tonight. It's TJ Barker. You're looking at the green flag. Heartline, Passwater Senior, Passwater Junior, and Baker. Parker, Nova. RV Parts Express. Tonight it's Bill Obule, the number 84. New Philadelphia, Ohio, the Van Meter Auto, Alex Buffalo, Rick Schweitzer. And running out to your field, the number 36, the Fairfield, Ohio, Number 24, New Philadelphia, Ohio, Brent Stressler to the outside, number 15 from Bolivar, Ohio, Kyle Finlayson, 19. From Albert, Ohio, Clayton Howard for the 27. Kyle Foster, Animator, and from New Philadelphia, Ohio, nice up ball by number 36, Jeffrey. outside of number 16 of Mike McDonald, the 17 of Bobby Gaynor. To the outside of number 69 of Dan Bucky, 38. Brandon Prince, 58. Zach Coker, 88. Jeffrey Bucky, Prince, Coker, Jake, so far here. Race number 2. Fails start. Kyle lost the number 55, Tyler Knight. The 47 tonight, that's Eric Koger, the number 30. Corey Aaron and the number 21A of Alex laps to go. Final heat race in the South Philly East compact division. Trevor Cole, Toby Cook. Williston. That's going to be your front row start. Harding, Ripley, Bailey, McClintock. That's your back. Then, go look for the green Strattler, 15, Kyle Phillison. 19, Clayton Oliver, 27, Rick Van Meter. 36, night stop qualifier, Jeffrey Ford, Dan Bucky, Bobby Gaynor, Mike McDonald, Tim Frederick, Jesse James running out to your field. Here, 2 laps in, 13 laps to go. Again, please back away from the fence. Please back away from the fence off the turn number 4. Thank Bob Slater Jr., Tom Stakeway. So far, your top 5. Laps to go. Caution coming up. Bob Passwater, Senior, Junior, Barker, Movement Garner, Ritchie, Smith, Early, Pringle, Hartline, and So far, 11 laps in, 9 laps to go. Tonight's 20-lap feature for the JD Byrider Street Stocks. 9 laps to go for Bob Passwater. Senior Bob Passwater. So far, 11 in, 9 laps to go. As Passwater, Junior Barney Gerber, the 118 of Phil Avio. Phil Avio filled in for